Okay, sedimentary rocks. When we take a look at sedimentary rocks, it is produced by the weathering of larger rocks. We have three different types of sedimentary rocks, and these are the three types that you need to know. You need to know clastic is made from rock fragments, chemical, which is something that was dissolved and precipitates out, and organic is life that was left behind. And when we take a look at sedimentary rocks, anytime you hear of coal and oil, you're going to find it in sedimentary rocks. So sediment is anything that is smaller. So if we have a larger rock and it has been broken down, it is the thing that has been broken down is called sediment. And sediment is classified by its size. Now we can have boulder, cobble, pebble, sand, silt, and clay. And in eighth grade, we are going to distinguish, for the most part, not all of them, just a couple. And as we go, you'll come back to these. So I'm not going to ask you to memorize or even, I don't even think this year on a homework do I ask you to say sand is this size or a pebble is this size. But clay is the smallest, boulder is the biggest, and sediment is classified by its size. So when we take a look at sediment, sediment comes from a bigger rock, and erosion or is weathering is the breaking down, erosion is the moving. And as things move, as the sediment moves, it gets sorted by its size. And this can happen in water and it can happen in wind. As it moves, we have rounding that takes place also. Some of you may have river rock or peat rock as decoration around your house. And peat is a size, pea rock, sorry, not peat, pea rock. So it gets sorted and rounded. And as if we're in water, as you go out in the water, the farther out you go, the smaller those become. So we have weathering is the breaking down, erosion is the moving, and deposition is the sediment stopping and being put down. And this is also a place where deposition can happen with chemical and organic also in water. So if we take a look at sedimentary rock, preservation, sediment must be preserved, and this is by the burial and additional of sediment. This is where you are going to find fossils. The only place that you are going to find a fossil is in sedimentary rock. Lithification is the general term for converting the loose sediment into sedimentary rock. So that is the compaction and cementation. And compaction and cementation is the term that we will use, or the terms that we will use, not lithification in eighth grade here. So if we take a look at the sedimentary rocks, we're going to talk about them again. We have clastic, we have chemical, and we have organic. Clastic is going to be determined by the size. Chemical is going to be precipitated out, and organic is going to be life that has come after that. I don't know why I didn't go full screen earlier. So if we take a look at clastic, we are going to, for the most part, have three types. The first type is going to be a conglomerate, and you noticed I made breccia smaller. Conglomerate is going to be big chunks, anything bigger than sandstone, we are going to call a conglomerate. Breccia is a unique type of conglomerate that instead of having rounded edges, the rocks that make it up have pointed edges. Oops. Then we have sandstone. And sandstone is anything that is made up of about sandstone, about sand-sized particles. And unfortunately, you don't get to feel them this year, but or if you're watching this, you probably don't get to. A lot of times you can feel the sand in there, and sometimes it even comes off. And then we have shale, and everything else smaller than sandstone we are going to call shale. And that could be siltstone, claystone, mudstone, but we are going to call them all shale. And shale is going to, it's going to feel like it has cleavage if we take a look at minerals. And that's because each layer, as it gets laid out and compacted, becomes loosely affixed to the previous layer. Okay. Then we have chemical sedimentary rocks, and these are rocks that have been laid down out of precipitation. And limestone is one that we are going to be looking at. It's the only one that we are going to be looking at. But we can look at halite. Halite is a mineral, but as a rock, it's called rock salt. So it kind of has double duty. But limestone, for those of you that were in a cave, I think in 4th or 5th grade, you may have made the trek to Mystery Cave. You were in limestone or some version of limestone. Limestone is kind of a overreaching generic term, but has many other names like dolostone, and if you add some stuff, or dolomite. Okay. And then we have our organics, and our organics are going to be coal and limestone. Now, you might think, well, we just talked about limestone, but we have limestone that forms in 2 different ways. We have it forming chemically, and we have it forming organic. And most of the time, organic limestone, you are going to see fossils of some kind. Coal, if we take a look at our coal, it is bituminous coal, and it is not dense. It has a very low density, and it's soft. Okay, and things that you might see in sedimentary rock, you might find ripple marks. You're going to find maybe some striation. You could find mud cracks or fossils. Once again, all fossils are going to be found in sedimentary rock. So that's sedimentary rock.